Today I'm critiquing a private island that ended up selling below the replacement cost. So if you ever decide to build your dream home or renovate your massive home, you won't make the same mistakes. I'm Arvin Haddad. I'm the guy who makes sure you have highest resale value when you build your dream home or remodel your property. Let's watch this video together.
Welcome to the most expensive home in the state of Minnesota. We've got just under 20,000 square feet, 5 bedrooms, 9 bathrooms. We've got private everything, secret doors. You have never seen anything like this, including the largest private glass atrium in a single family home in the entire state. There's a 12-car garage, a movie theater, there's a grotto. You have never seen anything like this. Things are about to get crazy. Let's go.
I know what's happening. My international viewers are scratching their head and they're like, is this in Somalia? Where the hell is Minnesota? Look, you're mixing things up, okay? This is actually, Minnesota is much closer to Canada, where there's a lot of ice, ironically. But it's normally a beautiful state. It's coming up. It's doing really good. It's normally very low-key. We were not expecting this, okay? Ourselves, we're surprised that Minnesota is actually making some noise. But this part is perhaps the most expensive part, which is a vacation home destination on a lake right next to Minneapolis, which is the main city.
Right off the entryway, you're greeted by this 5-foot wide 1960s Italian Sputnik light fixture. But take a look at this. It is the combination of 2 villas, if you will, walking down a beautiful street in Italy that have been connected by this huge glass atrium that is super cool. With the balconies, you've got all of the details.
Wait a minute. Are you trying to say this was made after Galleria Vittorio Emanuele in Milan? Because the atrium is the only thing they have in common, you know? The exterior of this house is straight up Mediterranean from like 1990s that they built in the United States. And the interior is completely white. It just has an atrium. Galleria Vittoria is like a new century eclecticism where they started connecting, you know, neoclassical elements with industrial stuff, Beaux-Arts, mixing it up. And it was a very short time period, you know. They were like, okay, we experimented, let's figure out other stuff. But it's way more beautiful than this. It's way more significant. This is completely washed out on the inside. It just has an atrium. Now, this atrium is going to come into a massive play, okay? It's going to bring a lot of natural light, but it's going to bring a lot of problems with it. Pay attention.
The dining room is kind of your entry statement piece. Its wallpaper looks like onyx, right? Which is that really ornate, incredible, and very expensive stone.
But it's the wallpaper. It's like, I show you something, it's like a photocopy of a Rolex watch, and I'm like, do you see how expensive this watch is? Do you know how expensive these Rolexes are? Come on, you can't do that. You're bragging about something it's not. It's copying. Oh my God.
And just off the dining room, you have the coolest home office. And actually, wait a minute, you know what? We came all the way to Minnesota. I want to play a little game. Let's play hide and seek. Wait. This is going to be fun, I promise. Count to 5 and then come try to find me in the office. All right, start counting!
Okay, while he's doing this, so this part is very normal. To your left is, you know, dining table, and to your right is an office. That's pretty typical so far. But what's not typical is that you are looking into a hallway this whole time. There's no release at the end of the volume, right? It's just the hallway closes off. Normally, even if you walk into a hallway in a mega mansion, because it's so grand or so long for that matter, it opens up to the backyard. This is a closed loop at the end. There's no release on the wow factor. There is no external wow factor.
Fireplace is pretty cool though, right? Massive. The amount of marble and natural stone in this house is mind-blowing.
Wow, that marble is gorgeous. I feel like they first chose this mantle and then they were like, okay, what do we have to do to, you know, make the room match it. So they went all black and introduces gold to the rest of the room. It's an office. It's masculine, whatever. The mantle is absolutely stunning.
Just next to the office and across from the dining room, you have your first of 9 bathrooms. Now, I don't typically show you powder rooms, but you've got to see this. I mean, look at this powder room. This is just a powder room in the entryway. You've got this crystal chandelier, this massive floating vanity, these incredible Wagner fixtures. These are gold, by the way.
They're not. They're gold plated, okay? They're not full gold. I'll promise you they're not.
But actually what blows me away the most, just because natural stone is so difficult to work with, if you take a look at this, the sink is ribbed. I mean, this took someone real time and effort and expense.
No, it's a CNC machine. You just program it. You choose the...
Now let's go see the kitchen, because the kitchen is insane. I mean, if you think the powder room is crazy, if this whole thing is wild, you just gotta come take a look.
Do you see what's happening? He has to cross this hallway to go from the powder room to the kitchen or to the office, right? There's no layout. There's no connectivity in this layout. This layout is perhaps the most primitive layout ever existed. It was like the first one humans invented, okay? I call it the barrack layout. It's just, one space, all the rooms connect to the center, and some of them connect to each other. It's like a kind of a track and field setup where you can cross if you want to make a shortcut, but otherwise you got to go around. It's one of the worst layouts you can do. Now, the main reason this house is designed this way is the shape of the lot. The lot is a long lot, and also the fact that they wanted to build the biggest house possible on the lot, which is one of the biggest mistakes.
So the kitchen is split up in 2, all right? Before we really go into all the detail that's here, follow me this way. This is what you would call the back kitchen, the worker's kitchen, or the butler's pantry. You have a separate huge sink. You can do a lot of your catering, your preparation in here. You've got warming drawer, microwave, separate oven, wine cooler, and these like little details. This is like the nicest butler's pantry I've seen.
Okay, the most important part here is that he went backwards. From the kitchen, he went back towards the butler's pantry, and behind that door is the dining room. Are you starting to see what's going on? Now, the only positive of this really long layout is that all your rooms are going to get lake views. But that is at the absolute expense of having zero connectivity in the house or a soul.
That brings us back into the main family kitchen. 2 separate islands, not just one, but 2. Incredible Carrara marble. Look at this hood. The mill worker probably retired after he was done with this house. Look at the hardware to open up the refrigerator and the freezer. You see this? This is wild. With the gold, the marble, this is just super, super cool. And the formal living space, I mean, I have to sit on things. Or you're gonna go over here and you're gonna sit in your formal dining room with another massive fireplace, gorgeous, gorgeous stone.
Did you see what just happened? You don't have that family lounge area immediately next to the kitchen. You have a formal dining area and a table, right? Like a club seating arrangement, which is not how we really hang out. We normally hang out right next to the kitchen in a comfortable, cozy area. If you want that, you have to cross the hallway again. Go to the other side of the property.
If you follow me this way, the villas, right, connect on the other side, and you've got this wild 4-story atrium that connects the bedrooms to the living space, to the lower level amenities, which are wild, to the underground parking layer. I kind of want to call it like the Bat Cave, because when you see it, it's what it feels like.
Why? Are we on a cruise ship? What the hell is going on? See, they're trying to do so much at the same time that they're screwing up everything. All they're trying to do over here is get natural light to the basement. Okay, there's a level below or 2 levels below where he's standing here. And that's all they're trying to do. And for that reason, they've opened these spaces, which really limits the connectivity even worse, meaning you can't just cross the hallway. You have to go around now to get to the other side. It's just horrible. And it just looks like, it feels like a cruise ship. Like you come out of your room, you look down, there's a casino down there. Like, what is going on?
So you follow me around this way, and we have our formal living space that is capped by this massive 18th century door. That's what this was. This is an 18th century Italian door that they brought here from Venice and turned it into this mirror that sits over this massive, massive mantle with book-matched marble fireplace.
Wait a minute. There's a piece missing here. What the hell? And I know what you're thinking, Arvin. I've seen this style before. I have a crazy aunt who, decored his house like this. What is this interior style called? It doesn't really have a name. You can call it, eclectic chic if you want to be nice. I call it glamitude. It's glam with attitude. You just basically put a bunch of stuff that look really expensive and shiny, a lot of black and whites, opposing colors, and then throw gold at it, okay? And a lot of heavy molding. It's the farthest thing away from Galleria Vittoria Emanuele, okay? It's very different than this.
You then have what we call over here the lazy room. Come on. In the lazy room
is a room that you end up making up when you have too many rooms connecting with each other and you don't know what to name them. You make up names. This is technically the TV room. So after having breakfast, lunch, you have to cross the hallway to come to this side of the property to hang out here in this TV room. Now, pay attention. You have like over 20,000 square foot of living space on 4 different levels, and your TV room is so small. Your formal living space was super small. Your kitchen was long and narrow. Your dining room wasn't even that big. And you're thinking, Arvin, where did that whole square footage go? It went to the freaking atrium in the middle, It's to bring natural light to the basement, which sucks too.
Every room has its own theme. I think that's what really stands out to me so much. Like, the story of the house stays the same, right? We feel very much like we're in an incredibly luxurious villa, although we are in Minnesota. Even the seams of the wood stay the same.
Okay, the most important element you have to pay attention to here is the connectivity indoor-outdoor. Now, your backyard sucks on this end. So like you have very small little side setbacks, okay? But you do get the views. So you're going to get views of the lake from all sides over here. That is the positive you're getting, okay? Let's not deny that. And you do get connectivity. So all these French doors open to the outside. It's just, there's not much to go to. You have a little bit of lawn, and then there's a slope and drops, and there's no beach. The island doesn't have any beaches, okay? It's just perched up. It's kind of like a little pedestal on the water.
Now let's go upstairs. Let's see the bedrooms. On the top floor of the house, we've got 3 bedrooms. So on this side, remember, we started down there. We've got 2 rooms, 2 full bathrooms, lots of closet space, and then we've got our whole primary suite. But let's start with our first bedroom. Now I told you every room has a theme, right? Well, this room is set up for their daughter. Big views out over the lake, huge walk-in closet, and a gorgeous, gorgeous bathroom. Like, I didn't have this kind of bathroom when I was a kid. Are you kidding me? Like, look at the shower. Look at the marble. Look at the tile work, the sink, the vanity, everything. And there's their own little Juliet balcony here. There's so much private outdoor space on the house. It's incredible. And the views are just beautiful. I mean, this is like the pinnacle. Anyone who is on Lake Minnetonka knows this house. They know this island. They know this castle. I mean, it's hard to miss.
It could have been a castle. It's not a castle. What's impressive over here is that they're not really cheaping it out. I don't think they're like going bespoke level finishes, but they're spending, expensive material, luxury products everywhere, on the floors, on the walls. They're not really cheaping it out. All the kitchen, like they're not cutting corners as far as finishes go. Now, I'm not arguing if it's nice or bad, but they're spending the money on the material and the craftsmanship, regardless of the taste. They've spent a lot of money furnishing and doing the finishes for 20,000 square foot of property. And they bought this property for around $2 million in 2013, and they ended up only selling it for $7.8 million. And according to my calculations, that's below replacement cost. If you were to go buy the dirt and build this property with the same finishes right now, it will cost you way more than $7.8 million. And that's why you got to pay attention and subscribe to the channel so you won't make the same mistakes.
And then the second bedroom on this floor is for the owner's son. It's dark and stormy, it's very masculine, it's very cool. This could also be an office. This could be, honestly, whatever you want. It could even be a media room. Oh, wait, there's a whole movie theater downstairs, which we're gonna get to. Hold your Minnesota horses. Now let's go across the hall and let's go to the primary suite. Bum, ba-da-dum, bum, bum, bum. Now, is this a primary bedroom or is this a primary bedroom? Wild. Now, there are 6 fireplaces in this house and they're all incredibly special, including this one. This is a 19th century French plaster fireplace that perfectly sits in this ornate primary bedroom. Now, this is called the antechamber. Now, you might call it the bathroom and you might call that the walk-in closet, but it is an antechamber because it is so big. You could live in this space. Look at this shower. Look at all these fixtures. Now, this closet could be its own apartment in New York City. I think we've actually probably toured apartments that were exactly this size. This was way bigger than my first apartment in New York, that is for sure. My first apartment in New York was this size, from here over. That was it, and it was awesome, by the way. I also didn't have nearly this many clothes or shoes or bags.
Okay, the primary bedroom so far was the best part of the property by a big distance. And the biggest thing you should take over here is that the fact that they only had 3 bedrooms on the family section of the bedrooms. That's the absolute bare minimum for any home to be considered a family home. So for the most expensive island, how they were marketing it in Minnesota, that's like not good enough. You should have had at least 4, maybe 5 bedrooms up here.
I'm in my own private elevator. We're going down. Meet me downstairs. That's where all the fun is. Now, before I take you to the nightclub and to the movie theater, I want to take you to one of my favorite parts of this house, which is the gym. And you know I love myself a good gym, so come on. Back through this kind of Roman atrium here, we've got all of these columns holding up the rest of the house. Gorgeous stone on the floor, that's this zebra pattern. You go into probably the sexiest fitness hallway I've ever been in.
Did you notice all the hallways? From one hallway, the Roman arches, you come this way, you go to this hallway. No, let's go to the other hallway. It's the same layout, downstairs, upstairs. All of them are hallways, and that's where a lot of your square footage is. And it blows my mind that no one in the design process, the architect, the builder, the interior designer, anyone, family, friends, would look at the plans and say, you know what, like, you're going to be paying a lot of money for hallways and very bad connectivity. And I'm not surprised this property had such a difficult time selling and ended up selling below replacement cost, because in my opinion, if they would have built, instead of a 20,000 square foot home, if they would have built a really, really good 7,000 square foot home with plenty of setbacks, comfortable, a better driveway, it would have probably sold more than this. It would have probably sold for, $8 million, $9 million. And the cost base would have been way lower than this. That's why I do consulting. And if you want me to look at your plans before you make that commitment to submit it to the city or spend millions and millions of dollars building your dream home, I would love to be that resource to you.
Welcome to my gym. Welcome to Minnesota. Boom! You got everything you could possibly need: cardio, weights, and a dry sauna. Just awesome to have in your own house.
It doesn't open up to the outdoor space, dungeon. I'm not digging it at all.
And what entertaining house would it be if it didn't have its own private indoor grotto? I jump in, but I'm in my clothes. And it's gold in the pool. It's gold tile. Now at the other end of the amenity floor, we have a lot. First up is this really, really gorgeous separate powder room. And directly across the hallway are 2 wine rooms, a wine tasting area, and a cigar room, which you have to see. And if one wine cellar wasn't enough, you have two. One here, one here. You meet in the middle, you taste your wine. Again, this is a house built for entertaining, for enjoying the finer things in life, like wine, vodka, and cigars, because you have your own cigar room with another of your 6 fireplaces. And after you have a little wine, after you have your cigar, then you get to go and watch one of your favorite movies in your private movie theater.
Wait, before we go to the movie theater, did you notice how many different times in the property the floors, colors, and materials changed? So many different times. Like, floors is what brings continuity to a space. Okay, I'm not saying you're not allowed to change it, but over here, just in this space, we went from black hardwood floors to black marble floors that were positioned in a tile setup, and we're probably going to go to carpet in the movie theater immediately.
The movie theater is awesome. You know, I love a good movie theater. We've got the projector, we've got the big screen, and you can hang out here. Oh, these are so comfortable. With 20 of your closest personal friends. Then you go to what's behind us, your own private nightclub. Are you kidding me? It's just under 20,000 square feet. You have things from 18th century Italy in this house. You have a 4-story atrium. You've got your own private grotto, right? You've got to be able to have a place to entertain at night. Once you have your glass of wine, you smoke your cigar, you watch your movie, you dip in the pool, you come over here. And what is a nightclub without your own private bar stocked with my favorite vodka, Smirnoff?
Ryan, Smirnoff is seriously your favorite vodka? I don't believe you, bro. I don't think you've had Smirnoff since high school. What's next? Popov? Okay, now you're thinking, Arvin, this was pretty cool. This new buyer got a movie theater, got a crazy nightclub, a freaking island. The finishes are not my type, but they're pretty new. Yeah, the layout sucks, but 7.8 is not a bad deal for an island. Pretty close to Minneapolis. If I come across something like this, should I buy it? Absolutely. You should. Not a problem. But you should have an exit strategy. And let me tell you what that strategy should be. Once you buy it, after first year you enjoy it, you should float the idea to the realtors around you that for the right price, you would consider selling it off market. This is the property you never bring on the market. And once you enjoy it, you get your, juices flowing and the itch is gone, okay? You wait for that sheep who doesn't follow my channel to come along and, comes over to the property, doesn't know how much it costs, comes over and they fall in love with it and they pay you a couple $1 million over it. And then you should know you should get the hell out and not over negotiate. Okay, because if you bring the same property back on the market, you're going to have a very hard time selling it.
And at the bottom of the stairs, we've made it to the bottom, is the underground parking layer, the Bat Cave. Now, this is more than a garage, okay? This is Batman's garage. This is an underground circular motor court. The core of the house, the elevator and the stairwell is right here, encased in foot after foot after foot of concrete. Around it is your motor court, so that you can put 8 cars comfortably, 12 cars if you want to. You can probably fit like even more than that, but 8 to 12 easily.
No, not easily at all. Maybe 4 comfortably. Let me explain. Look, first of all, these 4 pillars really mess up the flow because you have a really difficult time going around them to get into that circular motor court that goes around the core of the house. And then you can't park the cars in that circular driveway or the other areas over here because then you won't get enough angle to go around these pillars. It's a horrible garage. It looks massive, but you will have a nightmare moving your cars around you. It's going to be a jigsaw. You move this, you got to move the other one. It's a nightmare. And majority of the time, your cars are in the hallway, like the upstairs. It's like a lot of like driveway. It's horrible.
And I haven't even shown you the actual island, the land, the property, the pools, the boathouse, the docks, everything. Let's go. Well, it's raining. Yeah.
If I had shown you this frame before the video started, would have you expected the interior design that you saw? Absolutely not, right? This is as Mediterranean as it gets.
Your own private dock. Your own private guest house.
What is this? Chlorine? Bleach? And why do we have a round guest house in the middle of the backyard? Like, whose idea was this?
You've got your own bridge. You've got 930 feet of wraparound lake frontage. The house is 4 floors, 18,674 square feet, 5 bedrooms, 9 bathrooms. You got your own private grotto, your own private movie theater, your own private nightclub, 2 wine cellars, a wine tasting room, a cigar room, some of the most gorgeous stone marble I have ever seen, a private glass enclosed elevator that rises for 40 feet. It is crazy.
He's selling the features, okay? When a property like this on an island should sell itself on a feeling, giving you goosebumps. If you have to list all the items why someone should buy it, you failed. You should design a house where every angle, when you turn your head, you look the other way, it gives you a feeling. And the reason he was listing all those items is because the house didn't do that. It didn't wow. Okay, it didn't translate to a feeling. It just had a huge punch list of items that they took care of, and they got all the items done, and the new owner at the right price is going to be very happy with it. Okay, let's give it an Arvin score. Location. Look, I think this is the best area of vacation home in the whole Minnesota area. It's close to Minneapolis. Proximities there. It could even be used as a primary residence if you're willing to do a little bit of commute. I'm going to give it an 8 because it's not globally known. Lot quality. It's over an acre, but not all of it is flat, and the dimensions are not ideal. It's really long, and because they decided to maximize the square footage on it, they built a long house and it caused all these problems. What I would have done with this lot is I would have pushed for a much smaller home, maybe 7,000 to 8,000 square foot maximum. That would have allowed a more natural driveway to the property, so you didn't have to deal with these stairs when you walk up to the property, and the house would have felt like more of a cabin instead of this monstrosity that has 4 different levels with atriums everywhere. Lot utilization, it's really good. You do have a private driveway, you do have that approach, you do have the frontage, you do have a massive backyard. There's a lot of depth to that. Your side setbacks are decent. It's not like you have a garden on one side. It really slopes quickly. I'm still going to give it a 9. Privacy. This is really good. No one really has a direct line of sight to your interior of your space. Your property is perched up from the water level. You have a private driveway coming in, but with all water properties, because of accessibility for security reasons, they would never get above 8 for me. Lot orientation. This is south facing, east facing, north facing. It's on a freaking island. It's an absolute 10. Architectural style. Look, don't let the atrium fool you. This is nothing Italian. This is the Mediterranean American style to the fullest. I'm going to give it a 3. Views. This is really good. First of all, it's panoramic. You get lake views and you see the surrounding areas. You don't really have one focal point to really, be proud of, but how much view you get from every part of the property is perhaps one of the best things about this property. And for that reason, I'm going to give it a 9. Layout. This is perhaps one of the worst layouts I've ever seen. You had all that approach and you didn't even have an internal wow factor. You only had 3 bedrooms on the upper floor and no other guest bedrooms. Where would your friends come and stay if they visit you? That round guest house? Where was the bunk room? And then the connectivity room to room to room. You have to go through the freaking, cruise ship atrium to get to the other side. The rooms were small. I'm going to give it a 1. Scale and volume. Don't let the atrium fool you. Just because you have that 4-story atrium, to me, it doesn't do anything for me. It's unusable. How often I'm going to go in the hallway and lay on the ground and be like, wow, I'm very impressed with this really narrow vertical space. It doesn't do anything for me. The rooms were very average at best. I'm going to give it a 5. Finishes. Look, they've spent a lot of money, okay? They went marble, expensive material as much as they could to justify the price or the style that they really wanted, but I can't give this anything more than 5.5. Now, here's the Arvin score. This is another property in Minnesota, much better than this one. Check it out, and I'll see you guys in the comments. Take care.